Welcome to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the book club and podcast with your hosts, Sarah, Kit, and Marianne, three friends who talk about all things books, food, and travel. Welcome, readers, eaters, and travelers to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the podcast and book club where books take us beyond the page. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kit.
And I'm Marianne. Today we'll be talking about Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't read the book yet. While we'll be giving initial thoughts and ideas, eventually we will be spoiling the end.
And we will let you know once that's about to happen. So if you need to, you can pause, finish reading the book, and come back. And as always, we are adult readers who are going to say adult things because honestly, this book has so many good puns.
I was
going to
say,
happen.
especially when we read very adult books.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one will definitely include some smutty sections.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have been warned.
Yeah. So sometimes love isn't all about luck at all, but it definitely starts that way here. And with February still serving heart-shaped energy, this felt like the right book at the right time. So what is this book about? Here's our synopsis. Sybil Sweet has always been lucky, but lately she can't catch a break. After years of bouncing from job to job in search of something that feels right, and from man to man in search of something special, Sybil is worried that she's the directionless, floundering daughter her family thinks she is. But all she really wants now is a little financial stability and carb comfort. Lucky for her, she's got just enough in the bank to buy a lottery ticket, and the late-night donut store is open.
Kiran Anderson put his dreams of becoming a doctor on hold to take over running his family's bakery. And after fighting a losing battle to save the place, he's exhausted, broke, and no closer to getting back to school. But when a whirlwind of a woman sweeps in late one night, flirty energy gives way to more until she runs out the next morning, leaving behind her winning lottery ticket.
And lucky for Kiran, his attempt to return the ticket looks like a grand romantic gesture and it goes viral, sending sales through the roof. In an effort to keep the store afloat and to convince Sybil's family that she can make good relationship choices, they agree to fake a relationship for 3 months, even with hundreds of millions of dollars. Finding each other might end up being the sweetest bit of luck for the both of them. So that's a synopsis. And now that we've set the scene, we understand the stakes. Let's talk about how we felt about it, like gut check reaction, initial thoughts. Marianne.
Okay, so I've read other books by Denise Williams, and I've always enjoyed them. This one was no different. I like the way her female characters aren't perfect stick figures. They have real insecurities, they have real struggles, and I could really relate to Sybil's, I don't know if it's like clumsiness, but just like Butterfingers kind of thing. I liked her friends. I liked her interactions with Kieran's granddad. Her mom, though, her mom. I mean, I literally feel my blood pressure rising just thinking about her because my mom was, some of those things that she said, my mom would have said to me, and not to trauma dump or anything, but yeah.
But we will. We will get
But I am.
whole section for that.
Flashbacks over here. Just as a kind of an ironic aside, I finished The Correspondent, which is like a big book right now. It's like a sleeper book that's gotten really hot. And in it, the main character's name is Sybil, but she's like in her 70s. And it's just so ironic that these two books both have a main character named Sybil. And they're so very different. What about you, Sarah? What do you think of the book?
I liked it. I loved it at first. I started to have some plot issues, some things that were happening that I was like, why? Why is this not being explained? But loved the premise, loved Sybil as a main character, loved Kiran. I did the audiobook and literally listened to most of it in a day.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't like bored. Like I wanted to know what happened next. So can't wait to talk about this one. How about you, Kit?
It took me a few goes to get into this book. I'm not entirely sure why. I read the first chapter like 3 times. But once I got into it, I did not set it down. I read the whole rest of the book in one go.
Oh, wow.
And loved it. I think there are, to Sarah's point, there was a few times where I'm like, where are we going with this? But overall, I really liked how it all came together. I also related to Sybil quite a bit as someone, we'll talk about this later in the quotes, but as someone who often makes myself the butt of the jokes
Mhm.
as a way to like, if I make fun of me first, then you can't. I
Right.
was like, oh, Sybil, I see you there.
Mhm.
And I loved Kieran's family.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa
Yes.
Joe and his best friend Tom,
Oh, and the sister, she was
the
awesome too.
Oh,
sister. Yeah,
yeah.
I loved his family, and I'm just a sucker for a good fake dating trope. And I thought this one was done
Like,
really
my
well. We'll talk about it
yeah.
more, but I thought this one was done really well
Mhm.
because the reason they're fake dating made sense, and then
Mhm.
how it ends also makes sense. So I
Mhm.
thought that was a really good job. Which I guess leads us right to our first topic for plot points
Yeah.
is luck and fate versus intentional choices, because that is what leads them into the fake dating.
Yeah.
So
And the
the
fact that
yeah,
Sybil likes to have her whole like, she's a big luck believer. Like,
yes,
everything is like, leave it up to fate. Let fate decide.
right.
Let, if
And
luck's
Kieran,
on my side, and Kieran's very
the
practical,
opposite. Like
scientific.
he likes a plan.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
So
and as we find out more about Sybil, we find out that making plans obviously is not her strong point, and there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So where do we want to start
Oh my
on
gosh.
luck
well,
and
if you want
fate?
to
I put so many things under
I
that
know.
one.
I was
Not
like,
bad. I was
"Oh."
like, ooh, luck and fate versus intentional choices. And then I listed like 75 other things.
can I just say, because thinking about the lotto ticket itself, it was giving me such anxiety the way
Yes.
they were just putting it in like their
Like in the
pockets and stuff.
pocket.
I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, I don't know. I was like,
Yes.
I was
Well,
stressing out
and
about that.
first in my brain, for some reason, I was thinking $350,000.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
You're like,
like,
that's not much.
girl,
that
why are
would
you
change. That would
spending
change
all
my
this?
life.
And
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah.
like 350 million. And I'm like, oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, I'm freaking out a little bit more, but
Yeah. I thought to go back to the like how Sybil is so impulsive and she just like buys the
yeah.
lotto ticket.
Yeah.
And then to
Her
set the
note on it.
scene, Sybil's like, I'm giving up
Adults
on
saying
men.
adult things.
Yeah, adults saying adult things right out the gate. Sybil is giving up on men in favor of really good donuts and a
And a
possible $250 million payout.
payout. Mhm.
And then she's at the donut shop in the middle of the night. She sends her friends home. She's a little tipsy. She's not all the
Yeah.
way gone. But for whatever reason, her and Kieran have like an instant connection and just get it on in the back office.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they do not touch the donuts after. But she leaves because his sister fully just
Walks in.
interrupts him. She's like, "Oh, hey, I hear what's happening in there." And Sybil's like, "Oh my God, I
Sister-
gotta go."
Oh, what was
I'm
her
so
And
sister's
embarrassed.
name? Elise?
Lila.
Lila. I was like,
Lila.
To
Yeah.
like piggyback on Sybil's impulsivity, she buys this ticket. She's low key like fake banking on the fact that this is going to change her life.
yeah.
And then she just leaves it on Kieran's desk with a note that says, "Thanks for the orgasms."
And signs it. Which
Signs it
also
over
makes
to
it
him.
which makes it a legal ticket. Her signature's
Yes.
on it. Like,
But there goes her impulsiveness and her
yeah.
That she's just
her
like, this is a
carelessness, or like her mother
funny
would
thing
say.
to do. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave this for this guy and get the hell out of this donut shop. But
I
it works
love the
out.
whole idea of luck though. Like
Uh-huh.
my tiny bit of Irish that I am loves that. I've always loved clover. I've always
Yeah.
loved the color green. I have horses. I have lucky horseshoes all over my house. Like
Yep.
I just like that kind of stuff. And so that really spoke to me in this. I am that person who will do really
Well, you know what?
really
I
weird
thi-
things just because
Yeah.
think it could be a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way,
Mhm.
because if you believe in luck and something good happens to you, like, I think you take it more seriously. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't believe in luck and something good happens to you, it's like no big deal. But I don't know. I feel like it's something
That's
that
that's funny you say that because I usually wear a necklace that has a 4-leaf clover on it, and on the
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
back it says luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I've had it for years and I wear it every day. I've always loved that because like you said, that self-fulfilling prophecy that when you believe,
Then when
you
something
know,
good happens, then you feel like I think you cherish it more than
yeah,
if it just happens and you don't believe in that. So,
yeah. So
And
I
I
love
think
that. I love how she picks up pennies. I love
yeah.
that.
And I think Kieran is so anti-luck like, I think in a lot of ways for these two, luck kind of mirrors the idea of hope. Like
Mhm.
Sybil's
Yeah.
always hoping that the next thing's going to be like
Gonna
the thing
be,
that
yeah.
works out, that she makes the right choice, that the lotto ticket hits.
Yep.
Whereas Kiran seems to always be preparing for the worst.
And he's
And,
had a
like,
lot
yeah.
of worst in his life
Yeah.
too,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
losing his
So
parents and
he's always kind of ready. There is no luck, because if there is luck, then I have bad luck.
But he
Right.
has steps to get out of it too. Like where
He
she's like,
does.
I'm gonna buy this lottery ticket. And he's like, I have to do this, this, this,
Yeah.
and this, and then I will go back to med school. Like he has a
Yes.
Yeah.
plan,
I think
but
she kind
it's
of gets
not
him
luck
believing
necessarily.
in
Yeah.
luck and hope again.
Yeah.
That, like, you can plan all you want, but sometimes it's just luck of the draw, or like an impulsive decision made can lead to like all these other things. You don't always have to overthink it.
Right.
Well, and you
But
look at
he kind of tamps her down a little bit
Yeah.
in
But you
terms
look-
of her impulsivity.
love,
Mhm.
most of us, it's in a way sheer luck that you meet
Mhm.
somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're and by luck I mean same place at the same time, right
Yes.
place at the right time. You know, somebody in college is like, I didn't feel well earlier and I almost didn't go to the party, and then I went to this
And I'm
party
at
and there he
party.
was, you know, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
things like that. So maybe that's what helps change his mind too, when he realizes
Yeah.
it's this one evening that literally changes his life,
Yes.
just because she's the one that walked through the door.
You know, one other thing too is I think we have to include the grumpy sunshine trope in here, because he's definitely the
Yes.
grump and she's definitely the happy-go-lucky one.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so
do you think, because I agree that she's like the sunshine and he's kind of the
Yes,
grumpy.
for sure.
But do you think it's a mask for her? I don't think she's
Yes.
as happy as I think
Absolutely.
she's trying to be the sunshine.
Fake it
Because
till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, because
She's
she's got a
hiding
lot going
behind
on.
what she
that-
perceives are failures.
Yes. And
I don't want to say
she's
her failures because I
lonely.
don't think they're failures, but she perceives them because her family lets her know that it's
Right.
a failure. So
And I think she's lonely a lot of the time. And I
Mhm.
think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
really down on herself a
Yeah.
lot. But she's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to be positive through it.
yeah.
Well,
But I don't know that she believes it all the time.
Mhm.
well, with a mother like hers, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to family. Sybil's family versus Kiran's family.
Wait,
'cause I did
before-
put that down.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, what you said, you had here on the list about the real estate agent, that
Oh, yeah,
description of that house that they went and saw, that was
dying.
hilarious.
Yes.
That was
So
hilarious.
to set the scene there, which I think goes to like, again, speaks to like the difference between Kiran and Sybil and how they react to like big things. They're both coming into a fair bit of money. They agree to fake date. She's going to help pay off the bills for the donut shop, because when she ghosts him, she leaves the door unlocked, it gets broken into.
Yep.
Like there's a whole thing where she feels very responsible for the fact that they are now in an even worse place,
Mhm.
and she wants to help. But for how impulsive she is, she was actually relatively careful with the money. She bought some
Mhm.
big presents
Yeah.
for her family, but she could have bought a mansion.
Yeah.
But when she's looking for a house, she just wants a small house. But this real estate agent, the whole scene where the real estate agent takes her to this like giant mansion and is
And the
like, I think this is
decorations.
what you really want. And she's like, I asked for
don't
like
want any
two
of this.
bedroom, one bed. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
any of this.
I just
And, you
want
know,
to
the
not
real
be
estate
sleeping on someone's couch.
Yeah, the real estate
You
agent's
know?
looking for commission. But the
Mhm.
decorations in this house, that's
So
one of those things where I was like, kind of an unnecessary plot point, but
But it was
so funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, like it's like like I don't know why we're doing this, but I'm all in
yeah.
because
yeah.
it's just decorated in like artful porn.
Yes, yes.
Like, is it art? Is it who knows?
Who,
But then
my
the
thought is,
American-
whose house is this?
Whose house was this? And then the mantle or the top of the dresser that's just covered in like patriotic dildos. Like what a weird point to put in there. It doesn't add to the story, but it's but in
No.
terms of like moving the plot forward. But it's such a funny moment.
But it's so it's such a funny.
Because I think I can't remember if I put it in there or if I just highlighted it. Kiran makes he's like, if she thinks that you need a house with an American dildo, she's not listening to you at all.
Right, right.
And but it does point to the fact that like she's actually being kind of cautious with the money for how impulsive she is on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I can speak to that though, because I mean, my mom and dad, both of them, I mean, they were very critical of me most of my life. And she's scared. She doesn't have any confidence because her parents have told her, her mother especially have told her that she is this giant fuck up all the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And so she's scared that she's going to make a huge mistake with this money.
Yes.
So, like, she's just afraid to even try. She's afraid to even start because she knows too
Yeah.
her mother is going to get on her
Yeah.
case if she does anything foolish with it. And I mean, I could talk about my parents because they're both gone, so they won't be listening to this podcast. But
They're listening from beyond.
And be like,
but
how dare you?
How dare you?
but like, the only thing I ever felt really confident about around my parents was my parenting because they would praise me on how I
Mhm.
parented my kids, but pretty much everything else I did wrong. And
Yeah.
so it got to the point where you don't want to do it at all because you're just going to be told you do it
Right,
wrong. So
right.
Yeah.
anyhow, again,
So you're
I am
right. Yeah, maybe she's
trauma dumping
thinking
there again.
no, but maybe she's thinking like the same thing. Like
Yeah.
they're expecting me to jump in and do something crazy,
Yes.
and I
Right.
need to think that because even she doesn't. She only stays in that hotel like a few nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she stays on her friend's
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 couch
yeah,
or
she's on
couch.
the
something.
She's
couch for a
totally fine with
while.
it.
Yeah.
And granted, like she says, the money's not there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Takes a few weeks for that money to come in, but still, like it'd be real
But she
easy
could
for
have,
somebody to rack up a credit card bill in
Yeah.
that amount of time and be like,
Yeah.
well, by the time the bill
I bought
comes, I'll
myself a
be
new car. I got
Yeah.
myself a house. I got
Yeah.
like she could have done a lot of damage really fast, and she ends up being like pretty cautious
pretty
with
smart about it. Yeah.
it. She does make the one like fuck
Yeah.
up with the charity, but I think that trying to do good and just not hitting the mark was like devastating for her. That
Mhm.
like I
Well,
did it
that's
again. I
and that's
messed up
I would say that's so
again.
much of her personality where she's like,
Yeah.
nobody understands that I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I just keep screwing it up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I
Well,
really
because her
tried
mom's
on
just
this one.
her mom's just ready to jump in there and tell her
Yeah.
how much she
Right.
screwed it up. I
Right.
don't think her friends would so much. Maybe her
No.
sister.
No.
Her
Well,
sister
her
would
sister
probably
was an
make some
interesting one.
little
I thought
digs.
Grace, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because when Kiran first comes to the family for the dinner or whatever, she's really banking on Grace being there as a buffer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we also know that she overhears the conversation between spoilers. She overhears the conversation between Grace and her mother, where Grace is kind of participating in the discussion about
Yeah.
how much of a fuck up Sybil has been.
She has been, yeah.
And like that she doesn't understand. And I think for Sybil, she's like, that was the one person I thought was in my corner.
Yeah.
And she is publicly, she's willing to kind of be my wingman on these things, but privately, she's just as disappointed in me as everybody else is.
Mhm.
And I loved, and I might have put this one in the comments, that no, I didn't, but in the quotes rather, that Kieran's is the first one to really look at Sybil and how it's affecting her. There's the whole scene when the family's telling all these embarrassing stories
And he
about,
sees that
and he
she's
sees
not,
that she's like starting to like
she's very uncomfortable.
uncomfortable and close, but no one else even notices.
Yep.
Like no one even sees
Yeah.
because they're not looking. They're telling a funny story and they think she's okay with it because she's always kind of played along and
Yeah.
joked along, but the smile changes. Her physical like posture shrinks in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's the first person to see it and really look at her and say, hey, you're not that person that they
Yeah.
say you are. Like
Yeah.
you can tell them that.
You
Like,
can tell them that you don't
say
like that.
that
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the first time someone has said that to her. That like,
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
And that's not, if it hurts your feelings, it's not okay. And that's one part where I really thought I had put it in the comments because the way he said it, I might have to pull my thing out. The way he said it was like so nice. And I was like, oh, because in that moment, like that is how I am. Like,
Yeah.
I've done a lot. I'm super impulsive. I make a lot of bad decisions and they get pointed out like pretty frequently.
Mhm.
Like, oh, hey,
Mhm.
remember the time you did X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, ah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
then
so funny.
afterwards, I'm like, man, like I really am kind of a fuck up. Like
Aw.
I am super impulsive and I do make poor decisions because I think a lot in a similar way to Sybil, I'm expecting the best out of people, which
Mhm.
is not always the case.
Not
The
always
way
the case.
She
Yep.
expects that charity
To be
she's
legit.
Right.
Yeah.
to be legit because they seemed legit and she's expecting
Mhm.
the best out of them. And then she gets let down, but she sees it as her failure instead of their failure. Like
Right.
they did something wrong, you didn't. But she kind of internalizes that. And I was like, oh, samesies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I definitely
Yep.
felt that. And just the way he recognized that, oh, he is a good dude.
Mhm.
Like, yep.
Yeah, I do wish when they I guess we're into spoilers now, so anything that
Yeah.
we say from here on
From
out
here on
be later in the
forward.
book. It's I don't know how spoilery this is, but when her mom finally realizes that,
Yep.
I wish there had been more to that conversation because I
Yeah.
felt like it was such a big deal that it was just kind of swept under the rug then like, "Oh, I don't
Uh-huh.
really feel that way about you. I always thought that you were okay with it." And it's like, you just like your daughter
And it
just
makes
admitted she's got 20 plus years of trauma from you. There's you really need to have a deeper conversation than that.
and it kinda
Yeah.
makes you wonder too if the mom was just saying that because now she's got
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you kinda wonder about mom's
Yep.
intentions, like,
Yep.
okay,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I not that I think her mom was necessarily trying to get the money out of her, but that she knew it was just gonna reflect badly on their
Yeah.
family if
Yeah.
she wasn't supportive.
Yep.
Now, if I'm remembering correctly, when she gets scammed, don't they turn it around and they end up, doesn't she go on TV to
She
talk
goes
about
on
it
the
and they end up
news.
getting
Yes.
donations?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Goes
I
on the
mean
news and she does a segment about and they have somebody on from the state to talk about how to not get scammed. So
yes.
she like
Yeah.
shares her story and then ends up turning out positive.
So she, like, used I mean, she learned to use her
Yes.
mistakes for good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to make
She used
you
her
know
platform to like,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Like she had messed up or she'd made a
Mhm.
poor decision, but that I think she realized, oh, I can do something good with this because if I got
yes.
scammed, then other people are getting
Other
scammed.
people are going to get scammed too.
Yeah. So I found
Yeah.
the quote from Kieran. It's less of a quote, more of like he's helping her after she like twists her ankle somehow.
Oh yeah.
But she's kind of making a joke out of herself again. Where like she's talking and he's like, "You're not making sense, dude." And she's like, "I rarely make sense. It's why people like me." And he's like, "That's
Yeah.
not true. You're only not making sense in this instance. I told you, you don't always have to make yourself the joke. You're more than you
I
think you
love
are."
that. Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, damn." And then later she thanks him for it that, thank you for saying that. Like I needed
Yeah.
to hear it
Yeah.
and it means a lot. And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's seeing the real her and isn't afraid to tell her that
Yeah.
you don't have to be the butt of the joke. Like
Yeah.
it's you're using it as a shield
Well,
and you don't have to.
and it's interesting cuz he feels that way about her at first.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
She starts working and she's late and
Yep.
she has all these excuses as he says, but then he like
Yeah.
really sees her and sees why she's late and what's
Yeah.
really going on and like
Yeah.
she's not trying to be flighty.
Yes.
She's trying and I
She's
think
trying
that's
really hard.
she's trying really hard. It's like I didn't mean to be late for work, but as you know, some
Or
people shit
late
just
to the
keeps
news
happening.
station the first time.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
couldn't find a parking spot. Like I don't know where I
I
am
don't know
and
where I
it's
am and I
compounding and I'm
don't,
so
and
confused. Yeah.
she's not somebody like a type A personality like me and Kieran
Yeah.
would probably have looked ahead. I'd be like
Yeah.
on maps going, "Where's the parking lot? Where do
Right.
I go? I
And
have
I
to
have
be
to
there
leave
50."
15 minutes
And
early. Yeah.
she's thinking, "I just have to be there by this time and I'm going to drive right there and there it is." And
Yeah.
that's yeah, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make her a flighty person. It makes her normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes her
If
yeah.
anything, the type A personalities like me are a little bit over like, "Okay, chill."
Yeah. And they have to find that kind of happy
Yes.
medium.
But he notices that when her family never did.
Yes.
Because he
And
does.
that
At first, he was
yeah.
just like that.
Well,
That part kind of pissed me off. Where I was like, "Dude, I
like
thought you liked her.
chill. Yeah.
Why are you
Calm
like
down.
all up in her business like that?"
Yeah. That part I was like, "Oh, dude, maybe you don't wanna fake date him." Like, he
Yeah.
seems kind of aggressive over but I think some of that is, like, I'm
Well,
more on Sybil's side, like, if I
yeah,
walked in late and you're all
yeah,
over my case, I'd be like, "Deuces, dude, I'm out."
yeah,
Like
yeah.
But he was
like,
really
that wasn't
nervous about
down for me.
He
that
was
TV
yes,
appearance,
Right.
and you
so
didn't
that's
find out
why
how
yeah,
nervous he was until
Until
afterward, and
after.
then you're kind
yeah,
of like, "Oh, it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense why you were being kind of a dick about it."
yeah.
I think they both have anxiety, but in completely opposite ways
Yep.
that are,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
competing
because
with each
you
other.
think about it, all
Yep.
he's stressing about is how he's gonna pay the bills and how he's gonna
Yeah.
do this and, and even his grandpa's like, "But it's gonna all work out. Don't like I'll be back
Yeah.
to work and,
Yeah.
but no, grandpa, you can't do this, you can't do that." So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got
I think
his own
right.
anxiety.
His anxiety is kind of around like everything being perfect. And
Yeah.
her
Mhm.
anxiety is just like very scatterbrained and like, holy shit, what's happening?
Yeah.
Which is
That
like
uh,
I
that
related to.
that was my complaint. That's my plot complaint is
Okay.
I mean, their one night stand was freaking hot. Like
Yes.
like They
Yes.
both lost all of their inhibitions, and I
Yep.
didn't feel that you saw that side of Kieran, that planner, that I never do this kind
Yes.
of thing. So that when he kind of became a jerk the next few days,
Yeah.
and I know that Denise Williams points that out several
Yeah.
times as an author. She's like, because Sybil would say, like, what happened to that carefree guy I first met? What happened? And I felt that that wasn't ever really explained.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you have this really hot one night stand, and then he's a total asshole for the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
And I'm supposed to believe that he likes her and fake dating? It took a while. I felt like it took a little while to
Yeah.
get there. And then when we got there, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
at
Well, I
first
think
I was like,
he's beating himself up for losing control. You
Yes.
know,
yeah,
and
which I guess
he's
I would have maybe
you
liked
know,
to have seen that more. I didn't see that as much
I
like
mean,
in
Yeah.
that
think
one night
about
stand, but
to get into med school and to,
yeah.
be successful for a couple of years in med school, that takes a lot of self-control, a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
dedication, perseverance. And he's like let all of that go one night and is so out of character he doesn't know how to deal with it.
And I
Yeah.
don't think that he talked about that though. I feel like even just a little bit of like, I never lose control like that, but I was so
Yeah.
attracted to her and I don't know what came over me. I would have been like, okay, I get you. But
I
he did
did
not
like.
come across
Yeah.
that way at first.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, and now he's this a
Yeah.
scientific
Switch, yeah.
straight person, like
Yeah. I think too, and this might be a little like plot holy, but that as I was like putting it together, when they go and sing karaoke and he loses kind of that like guarded
yeah.
personality again
Yeah.
a second time. And I think I can't remember if it's the sister or if it's Grandpa Joe that makes the point later that that's who he used to be.
Used to be.
Mhm.
Yeah. That
That
sneak peek of him. Yeah.
before his mom kind of ghosted the whole family,
Yep.
that's the kid he was. And that once his mom left and he started to feel like he was responsible for taking care of everyone, he was the kind of guy who was willing to like flirt with the pretty girl over the donut counter and take her into the back room. And he was the guy that would make dirty jokes, in there's a whole section where he's like low key trying to not buy
Yeah.
into her
Yeah.
dirty jokes about like getting a hard on or getting
That-
stiff or whatever it
That
was.
whole section was really funny. I
It's
wish I had
so
written that
funny
down.
because you can see him trying to like he's created this persona of responsible med student, and I'm gonna save my grandpa's donut
Yep.
shop, and I'm gonna make sure that my sister doesn't have to give up her dreams to do these things.
Right.
It's my job. But every once in a while you'd get these glimpses
Yeah.
of like, oh shit, you are like really funny.
Yeah.
And but you don't know how to balance those two things together.
Yes.
And I do wish
Yes.
that there was more blending, maybe
Yeah.
is the word I want, that like
Yep.
you saw that more consistently throughout, because when it does happen, you're like, you are. I see now why you and Sybil are gonna like.
Because by the
be
end of the
perfect
book,
together.
or at least 3/4 of the way of the book, you're totally
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I get it.
Oh
But
yeah.
just that first quarter when I went, what
Yeah.
happened? Like,
Like he was
and
trying so
I
hard to
appreciated
like.
though that she said frequently, what happened to this guy? Because I
Yeah.
hate sometimes when you read a book like that and they come across this way and then they're not, and it's never talked about. And it's
Right.
like, can we talk about how he was in chapter 1? Because this is not the same
This
guy.
is a different guy.
And they're constantly fighting or something. It's like, no. The
Yeah.
banter should have been there to begin with. And then but
Yeah.
this one
And
was
I
a little
think
different.
both Tom and Grandpa Joe needle him about that. And I
Yeah.
think that works. Like where Grandpa Joe's like, I'm going to quotes now. You and
Yeah.
Lila got all the brains in the family, but let's face it, I'm better looking and everybody knows sex sells.
Yep.
Like I think
I
you
love
get
that
these
quote.
like little glimpses of this is who he was
Yeah.
raised by, and
Yeah.
it's in there somewhere, and he's just kind of figuring out how to bring that forward. But
Well,
Grandpa Joe
and-
and Sybil kind of
Yes.
being soulmates was like so good.
She
I
does
know,
the sex jokes with Grandpa Joe. It's
Love that.
The analogy I'm just thinking of here, and you ever been on like a strict diet and
Yes.
you feel like if you just eat one thing that's off your diet that
Mm.
you've blown everything?
Yeah.
And I think he's like that. He feels like he's got to be this person, and if he deviates from it, he'll lose his place. He loses his
He'll be it.
momentum.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
Yeah.
know how. He's worked hard to get to that point where he's like going straight forward, going ahead. He's afraid that if he steps off the track for just even a half a second,
Mhm.
he's going to lose his momentum. And I feel like that's that's part of it there too.
Yeah.
Well, and I get the impression he's not with women a lot,
Right.
because of school, and when he sees Sybil, he's so physically attracted to her at once
Mhm.
Yeah.
that
And
he
does,
does, and he
flat out
hasn't felt
says
that
it,
way in
right?
a long
Yeah.
time. That he's just like loses control of himself, and then after they do what they do and get interrupted, and the mixer explodes, it's like he remembers shit.
Oh, that's why I shouldn't do it.
This is
Yeah.
why I'm not supposed to do this stuff.
Right.
It's like you eat that ice cream sundae when you're on a diet, and
Yep.
then
Yeah. And you're
the
like,
next day your pants don't zip right, and you're like,
And
oh,
his,
damn
and
it,
perhaps his way of redemption is to try to return the lotto ticket.
yeah.
Like, I fucked up with this girl, and but this ticket isn't mine, even though it's $350 million.
Right. And it's signed over to it, like,
Yeah.
which that whole thing
And,
was just so funny.
I know,
Like,
but like I said, I was getting so anxious with that damn ticket. I'm like,
I know.
yes, where she's just like, she carefully put it in her pocket. I'm like, in your pocket?
In your pocket.
In your pocket? It can fly out. What do you mean in your
You go
pocket?
through the
It could be in
laundry and
take
you
it
wouldn't be
out,
able
you
to
washed
see it.
Yeah.
You can't
Like,
see the
what do you
numbers all of a
mean?
sudden. And
Yeah. I was like, that
Same.
was stressing
I
me
was
out
like the
so bad.
same.
I was like, go cash that fucker in. What are you
Oh
doing?
my god.
Or get an attorney to help you. Like, what's happening
Yes,
right now?
yes.
We've all watched, what is it? What's the name of it? Where they like win the lotto, the like reality show?
My Lottery Dream House or whatever.
Yes. Yes. Where they always talk about like, as soon as you win, you got to get an attorney because that's what's going to help. And I'm like, they're
Uh-huh.
not getting an attorney. They're just like going, I was
You're
like,
just like, yeah.
I was like, have you
She's
never
not
watched
calling
the
like a
show?
financial advisor. Like,
Yeah, like that. The money was stressing me out. I was like, oh my God, like fix yourself. But
so, the fake dating,
yes,
I love just like every fake dating. It
I
starts
love
out
fake
as it's okay, but then they're like, it's fake. So why don't we just have sex anyway?
we got to practice. We got to
We
make
gotta
it
practice,
believable.
even though it's fake. We got 3 weeks of this, and I'm
I-
like, nobody does that, but they all do
Yeah.
in books, and I love it.
I love it.
They think it's all going to be fake.
They're not going to fall in love. It always ends up the same way.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this one is how deeply uncomfortable Kiran was with
yeah.
public displays of affection,
Yes.
especially because she's like, you had your mouth in some unmentionable places. Just being able to hold my hand on the street. Like, boy, put your arm around me. Just her looking at him. I could just imagine her looking at him and be like,
What?
sir, hold my hand.
Done worse.
And him just being like, I don't know what to do.
And
And
even
I'm-
her, like, when they're working the festival, just she reaches around, goes and does something.
Yeah.
She puts her hand on his back and reaches, like normal
yeah.
people would do. And he's like, just touching.
He's
me.
like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what
there's
to
a,
do.
there's a hand on my back.
There's a
There's
hand on my
on my
back.
arm. What do I do?
But when they're in private, like when she's like to make the donuts and he shows her how to roll the dough by reaching both arms around her, he is comfortable
Yeah.
with close proximity.
Just not in. Yeah.
But in public, he loses his shit. And I thought that was really, really well written because he and her just like, well, I guess I just got to flirt it out of him. She
Yeah.
becomes more overbearing the more uncomfortable he gets. That she's like, well, I guess I better put on the world's tightest shirt so we can look at my boobs. We're going to make him comfortable one way or
One way
another.
or the other.
So like trial by fire. But even then, he's staring at her chest and she's like, what? And he's like, you have freckles right there. And I'm like, okay, you're sweet.
Yeah.
Because I think she's used to
She's like,
using
you're
her
not
body.
looking at my boobs. And he's like, no, your freckles.
Yeah. I think she's used to using her body as another
Mhm.
buffer, another wall. 'Cause She says
Absolutely.
it a few times where she's just like, I'm a lot to handle. You'll earn it.
Mhm.
Or I know you're looking at this ass and these like she brings it up.
she knows she's
several
got
times.
curves and she's
Right.
using them. And it's not the first time she's used
Yes.
them.
And
Mhm.
he is looking, but
Yeah.
he's also very sweet about certain things. And I don't know that she's used to that. She's
Mhm.
used to like weird, creepy dick pics
Right.
from guys on dating
Poor-
apps.
Poorly lit.
Poorly lit dick
That-
pics.
That whole sequence,
Yes.
when they're all looking at it, doesn't she
Yeah.
show it to him too? She's like,
She
this
does.
is
She's
what
like,
I'm
"Look, I
left with
sent this."
today. This
Yeah.
guy said this. And he's like, I was not expecting a dick.
Yeah, you gotta warn a guy. Like, you gotta tell me it's coming.
He's like, guys, you can't just show that to a guy without warning them.
And she's
And her
like,
just
"Oh, my God,
reaction.
like, you've seen
Oh,
it.
God.
Like, what are you like?
That part was so funny too.
Yes.
And just immediately the guy sends the pic and is like, how about you just come to my house? And she's like, what the fuck? Who says
Like,
that?
why, who does that?
What
Like,
makes you think
but
I
I did
wanna do
appreciate that they were like, at least make it lit appropriately. Like, if
Yes.
you're gonna do it well.
Was she talking to him or with one of her friends? Were like, what is the thing that makes it the best?
Yeah,
And
that was when she was talking to her friends, and they were like,
she said lighting, and they said like size or something.
yeah,
And
she was like, the lighting and angle makes a big
lighting and angle
difference.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I did laugh out loud on that one. I was like, this is so funny.
I laughed out loud several times.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of brings us down to some of the quotes. We kind of like
Yes.
intermingle. But when she
Yes.
first is in the donut shop and she's like, this is the donut. Like, I have to find, he's like, what's your favorite? She's like, no, it's not about favorites. This is the donut that's going to replace men in my life forever. And he's like lemon curd, which with blueberries or whatever, which I was like, that sounds delicious. And now I'm a little upset that I can't just go get that donut. But she started cracking like donut puns where she's like, talk curdy to me. And I was dying. And I was like, yeah, that would be me. I'd be in there like making the stupidest jokes. But it did also spawn me. I get so distracted so often when I'm reading. I texted like 5 different people and out with no context. I give them no background information at all.
Not what book you're reading or anything. You're just like, hey, funny quote.
For a book. Not even a quote. I went, hey, what's the sexiest donut filling? Because that's what they're arguing about. And now I want to know what other people have to say about this.
Right.
Because lemon would be high on my list of like, but it's the curd part that like lemon curd doesn't sound sexy.
Curd doesn't really sound.
No, it doesn't sound, but it tastes good.
It's
like
just,
this, I literally just started texting people like just zero context, like sexiest donut filling. Go. And a couple of responses were like, in the hole? What are you talking about? I'm like, a donut. Like if you were like where you put the custard. Like,
sexiest donut filling. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think that one's lemon blueberry is like, that would be high on my list.
I have a confession.
Yes.
I don't like donuts. I hate donuts.
I love a good custard filled Long John.
Okay, so here's my
I just made it worse.
No, I'd argue you made it better. Don't die. A custard filled Long John.
Oh my God.
Yep. Sexy donut.
Yes, that's the sexiest donut.
I'm going to say something so bad right now, but what kind of cream are you putting on top? What
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
frosting? Vanilla or chocolate?
I'm kind of a vanilla girl.
Would you put sprinkles on it? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be maybe your next unhinged book needs to be donut based because
It has to be.
Oh god.
But yeah, so food based, little food based. But yeah, I was like harassing people for donut answers because of this book. So Denise Williams, thank you so much for that. I'm sure everyone loved it as I was like, no, but really, what is the sexiest one? Like, all jokes aside, what would it be? Everyone agreed cream-filled. But
cream-filled.
Which kind of cream-filled was like the debate.
I did
flavor?
love that. The whole donut shop thing is such a different take for most romance.
Oh yeah, because most of them are like cupcake bakeries.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
loved the whole, because there's so many different things you can, I don't know, it talked about making cake donuts and blah, blah, all this other things. And I was like, it's just different, very different.
Yes.
I loved that.
And I liked that it was like a family run.
Yep.
It's been there for decades.
Yep.
Like, it painted a very clear visual in my head of like what this donut shop was. And I was like, so cute. I was a little sad how it ended in terms of like that the donut shop closed, but also that, you know, who it did go to and what it became was like,
it was also okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We got sidetracked there.
Okay.
Donuts will do that to you.
Now I kind of want a
my
donut.
my donut story is that when I was in
there's
college.
a reason you don't like donuts?
Yeah,
No.
there's a reason.
Do
Okay,
tell.
so well, no, because what my undergraduate degree is in technical theater, and so when we got to a point on a show where you had to work on the set after rehearsal because the actors had to practice on the set, we would go in after rehearsal and work till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And my professor would hand me $20 and tell me to go buy Pepsis and donuts.
Uh-huh.
And I ate so many donuts in undergraduate that I swore I would never eat
Sugar and
another donut.
caffeine.
Yeah,
It's just something about the aftertaste of donuts that I have
Really?
tried them since then. I cannot
Even different types?
yes, they all I could eat like a beignet, like if
Okay.
like we
More
go to
like
like
a
the
You love
pastry
a
kind of
beignet.
donate. Yeah.
but donuts have like a weird aftertaste to me, and
Weird.
I can't eat them. I have no desire to eat a donut. I mean, I have a wicked sweet tooth, but donuts I overdose. You ever like when you were in like in college, you drank too much of something and you never want to drink it again? Like I've never drank gin since I was a sophomore in college.
Apple pucker.
Yeah,
I
that's how I am with donuts.
Hmm.
But okay, let's get
Anyway,
back on
on that
track.
little
we were talking
we were kind of in
about
the
the
quote,
food. We were
Well,
talking about
we're getting some still of the quotes.
No, but we were
so-
talking about the donuts with the quotes. Like the
yes,
talk
yes,
Curdy
yes.
to
the
me.
Talk her to me. Um,
Okay, what about the next quote? This is from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, this is just so typical of Sybil. I mean,
I know, I love it.
that remember she went and she got the donuts from the donut shop and basically kind of stole them because nobody
Yes.
was at the counter. And then
running late.
she dropped them when she got to her office. And it's if the Rune snacks weren't bad enough, one of the clients who was trying to help me up slipped on a wayward chapstick tube rolling across the floor and inadvertently took a colleague down with him. After the ambulance shows up to take care of the client who hit his head on the way down and I cleaned up the donuts, Josephina fired me. And that was just like
Yeah.
Yeah, like
so
a wayward
typical.
chapstick. Like
Yeah, I
that's not
know.
even her fault, but somehow that's what happens when
Well, it
she's
was like it
around.
fell out of her purse, I think it was.
Yeah,
But it was like that was
something-
just so Sybil that
Chapsticks are mentioned multiple times because
Yes.
I have a quote highlighted where she's like, "Are they fucking multiplying in here?" Like she reaches her hand into
Oh,
her
yes.
purse and there's like 4 chapsticks.
all these chapsticks. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but that just it just seems so I just had this picture of the office and all these people, arms and legs going all over the place, slipping on
100%.
slipping on chapsticks. But
Yeah.
poor Sybil.
One of those great movie scenes where then
Yeah.
you like the camera stop, like Home Alone.
Yes.
they're-
We're all at
they're
the office,
fast-
and then
yes.
everyone stops, and there's like, or Cheaper by the
there's-
Dozen
Yeah.
with the frog, and then you see the food hanging all over. It's like,
yeah.
what did you do?
Yeah. You're like,
And they're like
Yes.
slipping on the donuts because they stepped on a filled donut. Now
Yeah.
there's filling all over the floor, and all these people are
Yep.
going down.
Oh my gosh.
But- So who had the next quote there? Was that you, Kit?
like
I didn't
all
put any
I
quotes
thought
'cause
the
yeah.
banter between
Oh, yeah.
Kiran and
Yes.
Sybil was so good. But when her flirting is very like in your face. Like she's
Yeah.
telling you exactly what she wants, but she's doing it like she's a stand-up comedian, which
Mhm.
I thought was hilarious. But she says something along the lines of like, if you're gonna do it with gusto. Like when she's like hooking up with him.
Yeah.
And she's like mid hookup. Like they're not even done yet. Like they have yet to be interrupted.
Right.
And she's like, he's doing his thing. And she's like, A+ gusto. World class fervor. I'm officially thankful for your fervor. He's like in the act. And she's like giving him a performance review, but like a stand-up comedian would.
Right,
I was like, Sybil, I love you.
Dude, he's pretty brave to continue then because
Yeah,
even
like
with the
A+.
comments, but still, I'd be like,
The other thing that I super appreciated about this book, it's not necessarily a quote, but I think Denise Williams hits on all these little kind of things that we see on Book Talk with like people making
Yeah.
videos, but I think they're like super accurate.
yes.
Where Sybil, he flips his hat backwards and she's like,
Oh yeah.
the backwards hat, which I had to explain to several people this week about the backwards hat situation. Like guys, like they didn't know what the backwards hat does to us. And maybe it's a Book Talk girly thing, but I was like, do you not know that when you flip the hat backwards, we're like, oh shit, like game on. Like that's like a thing.
That's-
like baseball hat forward, okay.
The
Baseball hat
TikTok
backwards.
posts of like, hey, you have to do to me what
flip the hat.
the main character does, where they flip the hat back and then they put their hand
And
up
they
on the
lean in?
door frame and lean in to
Yes.
kiss, and all the girls are
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, I had to like explain to a couple different guys this week that like that's a real thing. But like in the book, Denise Williams like has Sybil notice Kiran doing these things that he doesn't know that he's doing. That
Right.
like he rolls up his sleeves at one point to like do
the
something, and she's like, forearms. Like
And he
his
flips
forearms.
his hat backwards just because it keeps like he can see,
Yeah,
but
he's
he
just-
doesn't have to wear a hairnet. I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
tell you, speaking of forearms, she used the word biceps way too many times. I was like,
Yeah, like
say
I was
their
like, they're
arms.
there. Just
Because
the
it'd be
arms.
like even her sister, like Grace grabbed my bicep. Like,
yeah.
just say grab my arm. Like it was very
Right.
specific, and it kind of bothered me after a while because it
Right.
wasn't just like talking about the hot guy. It was like
Right.
everybody touched their biceps.
Yeah.
It was a very specific word for
Yeah. But I thought she did a great job, like with some of those things that like book talk is going to be all
Yup,
fucking over.
all over.
Like, the backwards hat, the rolled up sleeves, the kind of like flirty flower fight, like, and she like
the flower
at one
fight.
point,
Oh, yeah.
like
Wiping the flour
Sybil,
off her
like,
face with
boops
the
it off,
yes,
like boops him on the nose. I'm like, and then I think that's relatively close to where she's like, I'm a handful. You'll earn it.
You'll
And I
learn.
was like, girl, like, yes. Like, she just points out that I'm obnoxious. And I think maybe you love it. I was
Yeah.
like, I feel that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're just talking about flower, I'm like racking my brain for them fighting with like roses and
Oh,
lilies.
They're in a donut shop, not a flower shop.
I know, but I was like, I heard
You're
that.
like,
I'm like,
wait, when did that happen?
Yeah.
when did the flowers? But yeah.
Skip the Kiran speech for now. I think that's a good one
Okay.
to kind of like end on because it's him being
Yeah.
romantic and adorable and sets the whole
Okay.
stage. But Marianne, your unsolicited dick pic quote.
Okay, I thought this one was hilarious. Okay, it's a when was she talking? Sybil's talking to her friends about the photo that she received from this guy she's been talking to, and they say guys who send. Oh no, it's Marcus who actually says this. Her friend Marcus, the
I
chef.
love Marcus.
Yeah.
Love
Yes.
Marcus.
Guys who send unsolicited dick pics can still care about politics. Given the state of the country, it's obvious those guys still vote. I just love that.
And that's like that politics comes up because she had been like chatting with him about politics. I'm like, you are on a dating app chatting with the dude about politics. I'm like, what is happening? Like you are doing
Nowadays,
it
I would
wrong.
think you'd have to, though. I mean,
Yeah,
God,
yeah, really.
think about it. I
Really.
mean, because you want to go
Yeah.
out with somebody who had completely different views from you? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
Just like feeling like, oh, okay, so you've had some deep conversations about
Yeah.
politics, and then bam, dick pic.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
sir.
My other thing in there, though, too, was Sybil's mom. Oh my God, she got
Yeah.
under my skin. She was
Yep.
such a bitch. And even
Yes.
like spoiler that she kind of came around at the end, I still can't forgive her. Like, like the first time when she meets Kiran, are you
Oh,
scamming my daughter?
So mean to him.
She's so
Because-
mean to him.
Because you're not getting her money, no matter
Yeah.
how taken she is by you, how kind your grandfather seems.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm projecting some of my own issues onto it, but with Sybil being the heavier set one, I feel like mom doesn't believe that she can get. This is
Yeah.
like me projecting. The mom doesn't believe that she could get the hot guy,
Yeah.
and so the only reason it's like mom only believes that this guy is with her because of the money,
Because of
not
the money.
because of who she is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
And go ahead.
no, go ahead. What are you
I
gonna
was
say?
saying, and I think like some of the mom's concerns are definitely valid. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy is not around prior to her winning the money, and then is suddenly they're
Yeah.
kind of like joined at the hip once she wins the money. I think some of the concerns are valid. Like, where did this dude come from, and why is
But
he?
he
sticking
gave her
around?
back the ticket. He could have
Right.
kept it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
but
think
she
the mom
couldn't
sees
tell
that
her
a
mom
little
that.
bit of a like manipulation as well.
Yeah.
like
That wasn't. He
that
put it
the-
on. It was out on the internet. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
No,
But
it wasn't a secret.
They didn't know that she had signed it over.
Yeah.
But still,
like,
he
so-
could have kept it anyhow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Even so, I mean,
But she could be kind of looking at it like as a manipulation, like, well, he's hoping that if he gives it back, then you're going to give him some as like a finder's
Right.
fee.
Yeah.
So I think some of the concern is valid, but her approach is like unconscionable.
horrible. Yeah.
Like,
and then the other thing, like I said, and this ties into when she was offering more mac and cheese to the sister's fiance, but not to Sybil.
yeah,
And mom says, "I'd love some more, mom." And mom huffed, but spooned some onto my plate. I
yeah.
bet you would, seeing as it's good for hangovers. So I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
everything's a
It's that
dig with
slam.
mom.
That's that
Yes.
dig. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yes. So
Not
Yeah,
fair.
I
Not fair at
I
all.
Mom
hated
raises my blood
Sybil.
pressure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not like her at all,
Yeah.
and I think it was such a, like, difference from not Tom, from Kieran's family, Tom
Yes, that they
included,
were
but, like, Grandpa, Lila, Tom, they were all so good-natured in terms of, like, you expect families to, like, you rib on each other and, like, you get your knocks in, but you can tell in his family that it's all comes from a place of love and that they've definitely been told, like, "I'm proud of you a lot."
right.
Yeah.
And that I want you to succeed and I know you can and you're doing amazing things. And even as Kieran's second guessing whether he wants to go back to medical school, the grandpa's like, you got to make whatever choice is going to make you happy.
Mhm.
Versus Sybil's family is very like, you're just fucking it up.
They're all just
And
so
like, they're
passive
just,
aggressive.
yeah. And like, Sybil has the means to buy a necklace and those presents and she accidentally leaves the receipt in there and they're immediately like, this is too much. I knew you'd do this with
Yeah.
the money. You'd waste it. And she's like, I just want to give you something nice. Like,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
appreciate something nice
Yeah.
that I have the money for. It's a drop in the bucket to Sybil at that point.
Yeah.
So, and she's basically giving you something in appreciation of like everything you've done for me, for
Mhm.
all the times that I have messed up and I want to do
Right.
something nice for you.
Right.
And they immediately kind of like reject the presents as
Yeah.
like, you're fucking this up too.
Right.
I was like, God, like you are the
Like you
worst.
can't even do anything right. Like you're buying us gifts that are too expensive, and it's like, come on, like
Yeah, like appreciate the fact that she's
Yeah.
doing something right.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that she did right, which bouncing back to plot points, I guess, but I didn't put it on there. Her getting Kieran's birthday party at the zoo with like
Yes.
security was like I think that was something that her parent or her mom and her sister could look at and go like, oh dang, like she can plan something
She
and do it
did,
right. Like,
yeah.
this might be where she can be successful.
Yeah.
Is kind of bringing groups together.
Yep.
And like,
I thought the same thing. Party planner.
yeah. And I think the same way that Kiran was the first one to really see Sybil might be the first one to kind of see Kiran and go, I want to get you something that you haven't
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Like, and I have the means to do it. So I'm going to.
That's true.
Yeah, and I
And
thought
yeah.
that party was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool that it wasn't just a big show of money. It was
No.
that
Yeah.
she pulled in because at first it was like you bought out the zoo, like, okay, that's just an over the
I
top
thought it was like
thing.
just for the party.
Yeah.
Or
And
just
then
for
when
him.
yes,
Yeah.
and then when
Yeah.
you find out that she brought in all these kids and
Yep.
The
charities,
Boys and Girls Club. Yeah.
yes, and that was like,
Mhm.
okay, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
And even a better gift for him than just giving him the zoo because of
Yeah.
his
Yep.
background, having had to go into child services
Mhm.
and, you know, or I guess it was they were in a homeless shelter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they, so that was really, really touching.
Our
What was the
last quote.
speech?
Yeah. What's the last quote?
So the
That
last quote, it
speech.
happens like so early in the book, but I think it's
Yeah.
like it encapsulates Kiran in particular, but also the way he describes Sybil, like really shows that like that was like a real fast one night stand and like very impulsive on both parts, but he saw her in a way that other people may not have already. But it's the part where he's trying to he only does he even know her name at that point? It's the girl from the donut shop. He has the
Oh.
lotto ticket. He wants to get it back to her because he does not feel like it's his place to keep it. He's not
Right.
looking for a payout in any way. And Lila has this friend that is kind of like a reporter on the street and like posts to
Right.
social media. So he makes this video in front of it's after the shop has been broken into. That's basically he's trying to find Sybil. And he does know her name at that point. But Stewie is the guy, like the reporter on the street. Stewie's like trying to get him to like tell me more about this girl. Like, you can't just be like, this girl came in. Tell me about her. And he's like, she has curly hair and big brown eyes. And like, he's really struggling to like figure out how to describe her. But then he says, she has a great smile. She smiled a lot. And it was the kind of smile that made you, it makes you want to smile too. Like a sunny day. She made the shop feel brighter and she's beautiful. And I think
Oh.
that's the best way to describe her. She's just really beautiful. And she said she was a lucky person, and I guess she was right. So if you know a Sybil who fits that description, please have her come back and see me. And he starts with a description of her physical
Yeah.
traits, but not like in a objectifying way. But then he leans into how she makes people feel.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
I think for Sybil, a lot of the time, people especially her family, describes all the things she's messed up.
Mhm.
And she's the butt of the joke and she's the funny story. And here's this guy that she had a one night stand with that could really easily lean into kind of objectifying her. Not
Yeah.
necessarily in a
Yeah.
negative way, but like lean into those things and talk about, well, she made some really crass jokes or whatever.
Mhm.
He could lean into those things. And instead, he's like, she made the whole shop brighter. Like she just lights up a room. And I don't know how else to describe her. And I don't know that she's ever seen herself that way before. So, and that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Is just this guy that she hooked
Mhm.
up with who kind of like blew her mind and she ran away from, describing her in a way that not many people have described her. And she's
Yeah.
like, holy, and
Mhm.
even her friends are like, dude, this is the guy. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit, like you hit it out of the
Yeah.
park. And I think that's even at the bottom of the page. You know, the video ends. She says, I look up at my three best friends, and everyone at the same time goes, holy shit. Like, holy shit. And then it takes her a few days to get there because she's like, I don't know what to do. She starts to panic a little bit because she's
Mhm.
like, how
Mhm.
do I follow that up?
Yeah.
But that was probably my favorite part of the book was him just like trying to find the words, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
liked him. I liked Kieran.
I
I
did
was
too.
like, you're a good guy, even when you're
Although
being a total asshole.
sometimes I did want to shake him for being as
Yeah,
grumpy
I
as he
know.
was sometimes, but just kind of had to crack that
You're like,
shell
"Just
so he
stop."
the
Yeah.
sweet Kieran came out. So
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
think that it was balanced nicely. Like the times that he was
Mhm.
like, when she fucks up and needs to get away, and he's like, I'll take you to Tom's cabin. Like he
Mhm.
kind of sees what she needs intuitively
Yeah.
without having to be told. And I liked that. And then you're
Exactly.
like, now do that all the time. Now stop being the jerk sometimes.
Mhm.
Figure your shit out.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I guess we haven't really talked about how she messes up at the end because she makes a pretty fatal misstep there at the
Oh,
end
yeah.
where
But
she's
again,
just
meaning
trying
well.
to help. Yeah.
Meaning well. I mean, thinking she's doing the right thing
Yeah. She
and
like accidentally
doesn't
tries to
realize
bribe the medical school
how
into
that
like,
looks.
oh yeah,
Doesn't
yeah, that's
realize how
right.
that looks. She's thinking, I'm doing this for him and I'm going to give him time. If I donate this money,
yeah,
they'll let him.
they'll let him
But
stay.
then
It's
they're like,
something I
that's
can do for him.
unethical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
And like,
doesn't get that right away because he sees the ethics behind it.
Right.
He's like,
his brain is already fried
yeah.
because Grandpa Joe's in the hospital and
Yep.
he had to try and resuscitate him. Like he is
Yep.
fried. And then he finds out that Sybil tried to donate money in exchange for him like
Mhm.
getting a deferment for another year. And I think in that instance, like he's right to be mad, like rightly so. I think
Yeah.
his reaction
Yeah.
was, I mean, he was maybe a little more aggressive than necessary, but like
Mhm.
worth getting angry about.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of like plot holes, do you really think a university would have a leg to stand on when he wasn't the one making the bribe? Like,
No.
Probably not.
you know,
If he
you
didn't
know
even
that
know
was
about it, like,
yeah, that's one of those things that I kind of like questioned a little bit when I was reading it. Like, oh,
yeah.
but how could they punish him when he didn't do it?
Especially because they were going to give it to him.
Yeah.
Remember, the
Yeah.
mentor says, we were going to give
Yeah.
it to you until this happened. And
Yeah.
now we see that you're not ethically. And he's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I
Yeah,
feel like that
yeah.
would be.
So I mean,
Yeah.
and that's one of those things is like sometimes you have to suspend your disbelief in any book, and that's one that you have to just
Well, you
kind of
need
overlook. But
you need the third act breakup.
yeah,
That's what happens
you
in
do.
everything. And it sometimes, I agree. Sometimes it seems silly, but your brain is like, but it needs to happen because they have to realize
That
how good they are together before.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
part of me at that point was going, but wait a minute, he didn't do the bribing, so why is he
Yeah.
being punished?
I think so. It could, like, in my mind, I was like starting to fill in blanks that weren't there or gaps that weren't there necessarily. We're like, okay, but what did he say?
Yeah.
Like when they accuse, like, did he
Mhm.
seems like the sort that would fall on his sword a little bit,
Yeah.
like to protect Sybil.
Like knew right away
didn't-
who did it because they probably didn't say, oh,
Yeah.
well, this person
Right.
called. He'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, that was Sybil. She shouldn't have done that. And they'd be like,
so,
oh,
like,
really?
was he cagey about it,
Yeah.
or did he even try to tell them he didn't know?
Yeah.
Like, or was he just like, I understand?
Mhm.
Because he was already 1 foot out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like really pissed off about the fact that it happened and that, and obviously he comes around to the fact that, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to
Yeah.
not get accepted, because maybe I didn't really want that.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Mhm.
realize I didn't want it until
Right.
after I met you.
Right.
But I do think he was in the right to be pissed off, because that is kind of a big misstep on her part.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and I mean, I think it's Denise sets it up right away that he's not going to be a doctor. There's
No.
things about him and his personality that just
Yeah.
don't fit. I was not surprised how by in the end it's like he's going into research. I was like,
Like, that's perfect.
absolutely he is.
You do
That's
not
where
like
he-
people enough to like.
But it needed for him. It still needed to be his decision, not
Right.
somebody else's decision.
Yeah.
And had the school come back and said, "I'm sorry, we're
Yeah.
not going to do this," I think he probably would have taken a few months and been, I don't want to do this anyway. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the fact that choice was taken from him,
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
that's
I think
what he was
bothered
pissed
him
off
more than
about.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I really
Oh.
can't become a doctor. Like
Right.
no one's going to take me in med school because you did this.
Yeah.
It's permanently marred my permanent record.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. I think that's
Yes
that
and no,
you're right.
but-
that he was pissed off that it wasn't his decision.
His
He didn't get to
decision.
make
Yep.
that choice.
Yep.
But I think he was headed that way
Yeah.
anyways. I don't think he was ever going to go back to medical school to be a doctor. I'm trying to think, is there anything else in the plot
I
that we
know.
haven't covered? Because a lot happened in this book. Like
A lot did
a
happen.
lot happened. A lot happened. But I think we kind of
think we
hit
did.
everything.
Yeah.
So about that food, we already talked about the donuts. This is where in the outline I was like, let's talk about the sexiest
I know.
donuts. Already did it. Jumped
Already
the gun.
did.
And then I couldn't remember what other food there was.
Well,
I
what's
do
funny is
only
I was going
remember
through.
the French
Marcus.
toast. Yeah, that Marcus
Yeah,
I
made
was
the
going
French
through the book
toast.
last night because I've
Yeah.
got it on the Kindle, and so I was like Googling plates and
Yeah,
forks,
anything that would be like food
anything that
related.
would like be like food adjacent that it would
Yeah.
pull up something. But remember, Marcus was an aspiring
Yes.
chef. There was the giant birthday cake. There was like cotton
Yeah.
candy. There was bar food when they went out when they were doing
Mhm.
karaoke. But other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot of other food.
Yeah, donuts.
The
was like
focus was
front
the
and center.
donuts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is good. I mean, that was a
Yeah.
big part of it.
And I did like that he teaches her how to make the donuts. And like, I think they used the donuts in the donut shop well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
like, it didn't feel gimmicky, which I
Mhm.
guess kind of leads us into places, because the donut shop is obviously like
I
center
loved
stage.
what did they sell? The Hangover special,
The Hangover
and
special.
it was like
yeah.
half a dozen donuts and like 2 bottles of water or something
Yeah.
crazy like that
Yes.
for the
And,
late
like,
nights
that
of coming
people
in
were, like,
and
coming in a lot. for
yeah,
that.
because they need carbs and water. That was all that they
Yeah.
to soak up their. I thought that
And
was
you know
funny.
what? One of the things that this is now off topic because it's not about places, but when they're making the donuts for like the catering order,
Oh yeah,
and Sybil makes the suggestion that like, hey, it's hard for you to stay up late and do these late night things all the time. What if we start pitching the catering business to other companies?
Mhm.
And she gives him some like great ideas, and he realizes that she's so good at talking to people
Mhm.
that this could be something that like she can really
She
help
could do
with.
it, yeah.
And I was like, oh, you sneaky bitch. Look
Yeah.
at you coming up with great ideas in the middle of flirting with this boy.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
like, I think he starts to see that this could be, and in the end, obviously the donut shop closes, but that there could be somewhere for it to grow.
Yeah.
And she could be central to that.
Yep.
It was like a nice
Yep.
little like moment where he starts to see a future that's different than what
Yeah.
he had plotted out with
Yeah.
being a doctor or just having
Mhm.
to continue to work at a
Yeah.
failing business.
Yeah.
That like there's something there.
And she made people comfortable. I mean, like, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about how, when she was able to be herself, she made people comfortable, like with
Yeah.
with Grandpa and
Yeah.
with her little flirting with Grandpa. Like
Yeah.
they love that about her.
And even her friends.
yes,
Nobody's really up other than her mom, so to speak.
Yeah.
Nobody's really upset with her for living with them.
Yeah.
They're like,
No.
sure, we
Like-
got a couch. Like she's clearly an easy roommate.
if-
She's clearly an
if
easy
you're
person to be
couch
around.
surfing and everybody's happy that you're there,
Yeah,
like
and you're
that
like,
says a
okay, do it.
lot.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. And even when they were selling donuts at the market, just her ability to chit chat with
Mhm.
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
is something
The
that is
small
so
talk.
foreign to
Mhm.
Kiran, who's
And he did that. He's like, I don't
He's
want
like,
to
"Would you
talk
like a
about the
donut?"
weather.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like upselling everyone by just being like, "Oh my god, what's your favorite flavor? Did you see that we have? You want one? Did you see
Mhm.
what we have?" And he's
Yep.
just like, "I could never do that."
I couldn't do that. Yeah.
Like she's just so personable,
yeah.
and like
Well, she's been
Fun to be around.
floundering all this time trying to figure out where she belongs, and
Yeah.
I think she's finding her niche that she's able to, she's able to sweet talk these people, and she
Yeah.
could, with the money that she has now, she can use her schmoozing for good.
Yeah.
Like she can get out there and fundraise for charities, and I think she's just found where she needs to be.
And I think for her, the money is like just taking the pressure off. Like, I
Yes.
think she's been desperately trying to find a job
Her
or a
thing.
career.
She's trying to find her thing.
Mhm.
Trying to find her thing,
Mhm.
but she's looking in all the wrong places because she's viewing it as like, I have to have money. Like, what's a
Mhm.
job that's going to give me money, that I can use these skills, that I do this thing? And once that needing the money is off the table because the money's there, she can really lean into, but what am I good at? And what
Yeah.
do I enjoy?
Yeah.
And how can I don't have to worry about the money anymore. So what can I do that just makes me happy
Mhm.
and use that money for good, which
Yeah.
in turn, in theory, could turn into a job. Like,
Mhm.
you can run a charity, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
work, like,
Mhm.
there's so, and use those being personable skills for good. And I think winning the lottery takes the pressure off
Yeah.
for
Oh,
her.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. All right. Back to on topic. Other places.
Okay. So apparently this all takes place in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah,
which-
dude.
That is,
Iowa.
I believe Iowa is where Denise Williams lives.
Is it?
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah. So I looked.
So
I
it-
was
it
looking
doesn't
up
really, the donut shop figures in big, but I mean, and there's a couple mentions of Iowa, but it's really not a focus of
I
the
almost
book.
forgot that's where it took
Yes.
place until
it's
something
mentioned
else would
at the
happen.
end.
And yeah.
Yeah. At the very end,
also
it's
the-
mentioned pretty clearly. But I was
And
like,
the
oh,
TV
yeah, we're in
show
Iowa.
is Good Morning Des Moines
Good
or
Morning Des
something.
Moines. Yeah.
I just looked it up in the book. So
And
um
according to
there's-
Penguin Random House, that is in fact where Denise lives, is Des Moines,
Okay.
Iowa.
Okay.
one thing though too, that again, another thing that kind of, I'm like, she's got boatloads of money, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that med school is in Texas is this big like wedge between them. I'm sorry, she could fly back and forth every other day if she really
Same.
wanted
I know.
to.
I was like,
Okay,
why
are
is this
we-
an option? Not an
Why
option.
are we
Like,
focusing so much on it being in Texas
Mhm.
and you have to split up because it's in Texas? I'm sorry, you could buy your own damn airplane.
You could do whatever
You
you
I
know,
think
want.
she's
Yeah.
not there yet. I think
Yeah.
like I don't think she's
That's true.
thinking that part through. She's just like, Texas is a far way away.
I know,
But she's willing, at one point she says she's willing to go with.
yeah.
Like, she's willing to go with him. But I don't think she's quite understanding of what the money means in some capacities. So you just go wherever. You can have a house there, a house here, you
Yeah.
can get a private plane. Like, you could just go.
Well, and
But
then
I
the
don't
other
think
thing
she's
is,
figured that out yet.
if he's in med school, obviously they're not going to be able to have the time together to,
Yeah.
really have a relationship. He's going to be focused so much on work that it would
Mhm.
probably be difficult. But still, I mean, that was just kind of like wanted to shake them.
Yeah.
Reach through the pages of the book and go,
Yeah,
you can do
yeah.
it.
This is
But-
not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm just seeing Tom's cabin, and it just
Tom,
Same thing. I was like,
Shut
Uncle
it.
Tom's
Like,
cabin?
nope. Different Tom. Different Tom. Best
I
friend
This is
Tom.
forgot that it
this
was
is
Tom's
good.
cabin because they never refer to it as Tom's cabin. I don't think.
Right.
This is,
I think
this
he
is
says-
good, Tom.
He says
I was
something
kinda-
He
along
says
the
like
lines of, like,
he says it
it
belongs
this
to
cabin
Tom.
belongs
Like
to Tom.
he
Yeah.
never says this is Tom's cabin.
Yeah.
I was secretly kind of hoping that Grandpa and Tom would end up together.
I know. But they
That's
also kind of
right.
reminded me. Remember the movie Grumpy Old Men
Yes.
with
Yes.
Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau?
Walter Matthau.
Like that.
Yeah.
I kind of. They're kind of that
They're so funny.
crotchety
I was
crew
like,
too,
they're
where
the
you're like,
best.
I love them.
Yeah. But I
Mhm.
liked the cabin in the woods as like a location where he's like, I knew you just needed to get away. So
Yeah.
I got this place we can
Yep,
go to.
yep.
And I was like, love that. And I think she is starting to realize that, oh, this dude actually sees me and knows kind of what I need.
I want to see the zoo
Oh.
because
behind the scenes tours. Hold on.
places
Moines
we
Zoo?
talk about the zoo and because it takes place in Des Moines, I'm like, I wonder if she's describing it actually,
Yeah.
describing the Des Moines Zoo.
So there's a rhino barn experience. There's a harbor seal, sea lion, and penguin experience.
Well, I
The
know she
giant
has
tortoise.
I'm pretty sure she has a young son. So
Mhm.
she's probably spent
Yeah.
a lot of time at the zoo.
As a location as that That whole scene was like
That
so
spoke
cute.
to me because I was like,
Yeah.
if you planned a birthday party at the zoo for me, I would be the happiest person.
Dude, literally.
Like,
And you don't usually think of it for like
no,
adult birthday parties. It's like for little kids.
I love the
Okay,
zoo.
so
Loved it.
Like, well, that's one of the places I will look to work when I retire,
Yeah.
or even when the girls are busy and I need a summer job. I
Yeah.
100% am going to get
Education
a
at the
job at
zoo.
John Ball Zoo. Yep.
Like that would be super like we have the Denver Zoo. Like
Yep.
I've looked several times it's just a long commute, but like to help do like the camps and stuff, like I
But
would
that
love
was
it.
also my dream job before I became a teacher. When I
Yeah.
was going to college for veterinary medicine, it was specifically to be a zoo vet.
Yeah.
So I've always known like I will end up back
Yeah.
in
Doing something
education in
on
a
that.
zoo or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
for sure.
So, all right. And then med school, did we talk
I think we kind of talked about it.
about
Like
this
med school
enough?
as a
Yeah.
comment, like he's not there. He never goes to
Yeah.
med school, but it's
yeah.
kind of just like this looming location of
Yeah.
like
The future,
where
it seems
yeah, where he
so.
thinks he has to end up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's such a contrast to the zoo too, which is so fun and childlike. You
Yeah.
get in touch with your roots. And med school is so much like, okay, this is where I have to buckle down and
Yeah.
things.
So
Well,
here's
that's
a location question that has literally nothing to do with med school, but just popped into my head because I did write myself a note. I was like, what? So Grandpa Joe's apartment is above the
the
donut
donut
shop.
shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And um Kiran lives with Grandpa Joe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how did they not hear the break-in?
Mm.
That was one of my plot hole questions. That like I didn't realize the apartment was above the donut shop until later in the book, but they
You're
make a
right.
mention of the fact that they're above. And I was like, how did no one hear? Because it sounds like obviously they didn't have to break any windows to get in. So like the door was left unlocked, but it sounds like they trashed the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
weren't
how
they
did they not
down
hear
there
it?
till like 3 in the morning or something too? Like,
Yeah.
when did this
So it
happen?
doesn't leave like a lot of
Not a lot of time.
So
Hmm.
I was a little confused on that
Interesting.
part as like
Interesting.
how did that happen
Hmm.
without anyone noticing?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just gets into your suspending your
Yeah, I
disbelief.
know,
Suspending
I
disbelief.
know.
Yep.
I get hung up on
100%.
things like that sometimes
I
where
do
I'm like,
too.
but also
100%.
yeah. But also, what a great place to live. Can you imagine living above a donut shop and it just
Oh,
smells like
the
delicious
smell.
donut? I mean, maybe not
Like
for
Mary
Marianne.
Ann's sick.
So, anyways, Sarah, about this donut shop.
I would love it.
I
Yeah.
would love it.
I don't know. It's just like even the smell of fried foods of any kind just is like, okay, there it smells
Delicious.
good at first, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh God.
I would probably get sick of it if it's all I smelled.
Yeah.
Which
I
is like
wish the
that's
smell of fried
24/7,
food
but like
made me sick.
I love fried food.
I would probably be a lot
I'd be so
healthier.
happy. Dude,
Mhm.
literally, it's bad.
About our final thoughts.
I
Okay.
really loved this book. There's a few things that, the plot holes that kind of had me swinging for a little bit, but not enough to like ruin the experience.
Yeah.
I love Sybil and Kiran together. I think once they figured their shit out, I was like, power couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grumpy Sunshine. Like they were so good. And I know Marianne, you've read several of Williams's books, so I wanna read some more now. I was looking at all her different titles and checking them against my
And some of
library to
them are
see what
like
I
kind
could
of
get.
are interconnected
Okay.
too. Like, not necessarily sequels, but where like cameos from previous
Yeah.
books.
Do they all take place in Iowa?
No, I'm thinking I'm trying to remember the first one might have. I don't remember. It's been a few
Yeah.
years since I read the first one.
Mhm.
Okay.
There was a series, a few of them that like took place in an airport. Like there was
Oh,
like
nice.
Yeah.
an airport pet grooming
Oh, that's
facility.
fun.
So for like people who were bringing their dogs on the plane, they could get them
Yeah.
groomed ahead of
Mhm.
time. But
That's cool.
seems kind of unrealistic. But whatever.
Who cares?
But I know. But I don't really. I feel like one of them, like part of it was in North Carolina, but I could be
Okay.
wrong. Who's up next?
Sarah.
I had issues for some of it, but I will definitely read more Denise Williams. I
Mhm.
loved the
Agreed.
snark. I'm even curious because
Dude, the
pulling it up
banter
on
was so
Goodreads,
good.
yeah, some of the people on Goodreads were like, "I love Denise Williams, but this was not my favorite."
Ooh, so
The
there's
M
better?
like, I know,
thought it
I'm
was
like,
great.
"That really?" Because if this is what they thought, a lot of the things that we actually didn't talk about this very much, so we should probably mention it. Um, that what a lot of people said they didn't like is that how much of a bum, so to speak, that Sybil came across as.
Oh.
And I thought, but you get the is it ADD or ADHD diagnosis at the end,
Yeah.
which I wish there had been more of, but because I felt like that explained a lot of her personality.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was interesting when I was reading through some of the people that gave the book only like 3.5 stars or 3 stars. They were like, they're like, Sybil was a mess. It drove me crazy. Like, grow up, girl. Like, get a.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but she had a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Did
I felt like, did they not get all the way to the
to
the end of that part, which I do wish there had been a little more.
Yeah.
Because I felt it when the sister was reading the book, and I was like, oh, that's totally what
like,
she
there it
has.
is.
I liked that part of the book because I felt like it really explained her
Yes.
a little bit more and made you kind of say a little less. Why is she so flaky? Why can't she just settle? I mean, for the type A personality of me going, why can't she just figure it out and settle down?
Right.
Oh, there's a reason.
Because
and it makes
really
sense.
can't. Yeah.
And she didn't understand it. And then she feels better about herself once she gets that diagnosis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Marianne,
long story short, I liked
final
it.
Long story short, Sarah liked it.
Yep.
Definitely enjoyed it. I've read others of her books, and I'll definitely read some more. So, recommend it.
Highly recommend. That's 3 recommends.
Yeah, I've added a few of her books already to my
3 stars.
I feel like we're on like American Idol or something. You know, they all get.
You're going to Hollywood.
I got 3 recommends. You're going to Hollywood.
No, for me, dog. Just kidding. Yeah, that's how we should. That's our next.
Come back next time. A little more under your belt, right? Like a little more experience.
You're a little
Come back with book 2. No.
Not for real. We liked it. We all
loved
enjoyed it. And 2 out of 3 of us like donuts.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
There we go.
Everybody, 3 out of 3 like the book. 2 out of 3
like donuts. All right. Well, it is time now to reveal our featured book for March. But before we get to the clues, we want to thank all our TikTok followers because we put out a call for book recommendations and you all delivered.
They did.
We had 50 plus titles to check out. And we finally, after much discussion, we did. We sat in our weekly meeting and went, hey, here's a bunch of titles.
There's so many choices.
And even if we didn't pick it, we're all like, add this to the TBR. Add this to the TBR. We finally landed on one we are really excited about. So here are a few clues. Clue number 1, this story travels between 2 timelines, one set 100 years ago and one in the present day.
Clue 2, a quiet village in Ireland holds folklore, fairy tales, and secrets that blur the line between myth and reality.
And clue number 3, the heart of this book is storytelling. Who gets to tell the stories, who translates them, and what happens when the truth hides inside a legend. Ooh, drum roll. Our March book, it's just me banging on my desk. Our next book is The Story Collector by Evie Woods. This one got multiple recommendations in our comments. It was recommended by Riri, Fluff and Plume, and Kate Gree 3163. So if you guys are listening, thank you. Because and thank you to everyone who gave us recommendations. Yeah. We checked every single one of them out. Goodreads was working overtime.
Yeah.
And we landed on this one for a couple different reasons, but you'll be hearing about a lot of the other books in our monthly recap.
Absolutely. Because I
we
love
put
books
a lot of things onto our TBRs.
Yeah.
Faux show.
So that's it for now. Thank you to everyone for joining us as we talked about Just Our Luck.
And if you enjoyed this episode, head to our profile, check out the other books we have featured so far, including books like Summer in the City, 13th Child, The Poppy Fields, and so many more. And if you are looking for book recommendations, each month we share what books we've read across every genre.
And hey, speaking of recommendations, are you obsessed with Just Our Luck and suddenly feeling like maybe you need a lottery ticket and a little romance? Same. And some donuts, honestly. Donuts for dinner. You can grab Just Our Luck, plus all of our past featured reads and some exciting upcoming releases over on our bookshop.org storefront. And the bonus is that every purchase supports independent bookstores, which we love almost as much as fictional jackpots and fake dating to real love plotlines. The link to our shop is www.bookshop.org/shop/RETR-book club. Or if that felt like a lot, you can go right to our bio, click on the link, and then click directly into our shop. So you can shop smart, shop indie, and read recklessly. And if you win the lottery, buy some more books.
And don't forget to follow our socials, subscribe to the podcast, and please leave us a review. We want to know what you think.
And let us know if there's a book you'd like to see us read or cover in the book club, because we like our TBR piles to be towering.
Of course.
Dangerous.
So until next time, keep reading.
Keep exploring.
And don't forget to pack the snacks. The donuts. Could you pack a donut? Like if you were like out and about, like you put that in a pocket, like you pack a donut. So maybe donut holes. A pocket full of donut holes.
Pocket full of donut holes.
One out
But
at a
just
time.
make sure the lottery ticket's not still in the pocket.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like,
my God.
you got a jelly-filled donut